You can present yourself if you want.
Oh.
So, okay, so anyways, our next speaker is Claudia Guirao. That he will talk and she will talk about search engines.
Whoosh.
Search, I think?
It's pronounced Whoosh.
No, but is it for
Yeah,
text
search
searching?
engine.
Perfect. So, Whoosh. So, thanks, speaker.
So thank you everybody for coming, and I'm going to talk about Woosh. It is a search engine library. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is, as he said, Claudia, and my main background it is not actually scientific. I have studied law and business administration, and I have been working at PC Componentes. Probably you should know the e-commerce for the last 2 years. At the beginning, I was working at the marketing department doing analytics, but for the last year, I have been leading the data science department. And more or less a year ago, I received the project of improving the search engine at PC Componentes. This is more or less how the outside looks like. And to let you know how big this challenge was, this is the second most visited page at our website. It received 100,000 sessions by day. And I'm sorry. And if you are already a customer of our site, probably you will know that there's another one, a little one, search as you type searcher, but it is not developed by me. And behind of that, there's an SQL query. So the main library I used for develop the search engine was Whoosh. Whoosh means a song made by something that is moving quickly, and that's what I was trying to do: move quick and develop fast. And thinking about my talk, I would prefer to title the talk "Whoosh, so fast and easy that even a lawyer as me could manage." And I will show you. What is Whoosh? As I said, it's a library that allows you to build your own search engine. I think it is really fast. It is pure Python. That is one of the main reasons I choose it. And also, you don't know to program in other languages. You don't need compiler and nothing like that. No Java behind. Allows you to fully customize the parsing, the searching function, the scoring algorithm, and that was, I think, really important for me while I was developing the search. But it has some backdraws. Everything indexed must be Unicode, and also by now it is not available at Python 3. I know that some of you are probably actually asking yourself why I didn't choose Elasticsearch. Well, a year ago, I had no team, I was alone, and I had to work isolated. My main focus, as I said, is the index and search definition. Also, we don't have big data because we have more or less 12,000 products alive in our store. And as always, I need to develop it fast, approximately in a month. Because the searcher before this one has a bounce rate about 20%, and this was so bad for us. So now, a year after, probably my decision will be different, but I think it could be a nice library for someone who has who has to develop it fast, quick, and doesn't have to index a lot of documents. And I think it's a neat and clean solution. While I was analyzing the project, I already defined these 4+1 stages. The first one was the data treatment, and I will explain why this was very important for me. The slides will be available and also the notebook at GitHub, but you can try to do it with the dataset available at the client panel. It is a CSV format. Unfortunately, everything is in Latin. It has special characters, missing values. Also, I didn't have any tag in the database. There are a lot of emphasis and irrelevant information mixed with the relevant information that I needed. So I have to work a lot and have a lot of fun in that month. So those are the main fields in the CSV. The category, product, the name. Not the long description, but you could scroll it from our website if you need it. And this is more or less how it looks like. The SKU, the product SKU, the name, that kind of product information. So one of the main tasks was to retrieve the text. And I used the TF-IDF algorithm to make the task. This is the classical definition of the algorithm, and those are my main 4 functions. This is a very useful algorithm to retrieve the relevant words in a corpus, but unfortunately, the first time I ran this code in my database, I didn't retrieve very useful tags. It is because my colleagues are putting in the description words that are meaningless. I mean, fantastic, great, super cute. And that's what the words I retrieve. So I have to make an extensive list of adjectives. That it is also updated. It's more or less about 5,000 words. And, well, it works. But as I'm going to say after, it is a teamwork. If you need to develop a search engine and you are working with someone corpus, it is very useful to speak with the people that are that feed in your corpus. So in this snippet, I am removing the Spanish stop words, also the English stop words, and the meaningless adjectives. And after the 4 functions, you will retrieve the tags. Other ideas you can implement is to use your first version search engine to retrieve another tags. I already have in my corpus, in my documents, words like kids and peques and something like that, and I have to rephrase those words or find synonyms like child or niños or infantil, things like that. And also you can use the database as a tagger. Well, actually in our search engine, all the smartphones below 150 are tagged as cheap. The second stage is to define the schema. Whoosh has 6 types of fields: text for the descriptions, keyword for the tags, ID for the product SKU, numeric and datetime that also could be used as sortable, and Boolean. The field boosting is quite useful when you have fields that are more relevant than others. You can imagine that the name of the product is more relevant than the specifications or stuff like that. You also have to be prepared to deal with the form diversity. Woosh has 2 analyzers, the stemming and variation, Both are working great in English, but not so good in Spanish. That is always happening with language libraries in Python. I already implemented the stemming because it is removing the suffixes, and it works more or less, but I'm not very happy with that. You could also program yourself for diversity. I dare you to make it. This is more or less how it works. You have analyze, and stemming is removing the suffixes, and variations is storing all the word form in the index. Because of the process before of retrieving the tags, it is kind of a slow process. I already prepared a data set with field tags. One of the steps you have to do is to clean the corpus. As I said, everything must be Unicode, and we have the database in Latin, and we have some special characters and also HTML, and you have to clean everything. And that's the thing I have made in this snippet. In the CSV, we have almost 12,000 products. And this is an example of the schema. The first field is the product SKU. It is important to be stored because the website is going to retrieve it and use it for the view. Ian is another reference of the product. Category, in this step, I am using the stemming analyzer with a min size of 3 characters, and it's going to be also stored. But it is up to you. The article name, it has also the same configuration, and also I have put in for this field, field boosting. It will duplicate the word scoring, and if you are sorting the results by the word scoring, it will be first if the words are in this field. Tags, which is a keyword type field, price, and stock. I'm sorry. Okay. Once the schema is set up, next step is to index. Woosh allows you to create the index the first time, merge segments, delete documents if they are now not available, update documents, and make some incremental indexing. This is a simple indexing function. We are going to iterate through our catalog, adding each product to the index. It was running on my old laptop, so it took 25 seconds, but in my other computer, it is about 10 seconds for the 2,000 documents. It outputs 3 documents, so what we do is to do all this slow process in one server and move these 3 documents to the production server, which is allowing the search engine. It weighs about 10 megas, which is nothing. The last step is do the search process. It is including the parsing, the scoring, sorting the results, filter, and paging. About the scoring, by default it is using BM25F, but you can change it by the one I was mentioned before, TF-IDF. Also, let you paging. We are using this for retrieving the categories and printing on the website in the left panel. And I will display the parsing. By default, it is using a parser. Parsing a query is to convert the string type by the user in a query object. By default, it is using one word in one field of the schema, but it is also available a multi-field parser, and this is what we are using, actually. As I said, it is fully customizable. If you are able to program your own parser or you want to make some changes in the classes, you could. It is okay. It is open and you could personalize it. Here's an example. The user types cargador de coche USB, and we are cleaning that string about, with the stock words in Spanish, stock words in English, and make it lower. And we are converting it in a parse query. I would like to mark that we are using here an OR group. In the parameter in the multi-parser function, we are using group or group. If you avoid this, it will be using every word and search products that contains every word typed by the user. This is an example of our search function. It will retrieve more than 900 hits, and this is the best one, TomTom Cargador USB. Also, you would like to change the sorting. As example, if you have a sort in your searcher, like or a filtering, the user could sort by relevance or price, something like that. We are receiving that parameter and sorting the results. Here you can see a comparison between the default sorting, which is the word scoring, and also by the price. Oops. Yeah. Filtering. You can filter in a positive and also in a negative way. Actually, while you are typing in our search engine, you are making two calls to our search. One for retrieving the hits and one for retrieving the categories. And if you mark one of those categories, they will filter your previous query and retrieving the results. Other stuff. Well, actually, it was in production in October of last year, initially running in Flask, but then coming the Black Friday and everything crashed, and we have to put Tornado. Recently, while I was making the talk, I discovered that there's a package with Flash, Woosh, and SQL Alchemy, what is very fast, and also it could earn you some time, save you some time. We are also storing the navigation events and also the search events in MongoDB, and we are planning to use that information for make the related search with the association algorithms. Our colleagues are programming the did-you mean with the Levenstein distance, as Manuel mentioned yesterday. And we are planning to move this big one, or this real search engine, to the little one. But we are waiting for our new website. That's why, actually, we are doing A/B testing and changing the algorithms week by week. So if you found something strange in our search engine, please send me a message, and we will fix it. Because one thing I learned with this project is that make a search engine is not really easy. It is a difficult thing. Google knows it, and you have to be prepared to a lot of hot fixes, something that don't appear or something strange. And it is a team working thing. I had to speak a lot with the SEO department, the cataloging department, doing pedagogical stuff and trying to make them understand that it's difficult to find something that there's not in our corpus. I cannot find infantile if it's not in the corpus, and people are typing that kind of things, and they have to put the words in the documents. And also, one thing I learned with this process, it is better to work with a team that allows you. When I moved from marketing to the IT department, it was quite difficult to work with my colleagues because they are working in PHP, and I was the only one working in Python, and this was the first project in Python in the company, and it was quite difficult to talk about and put it in production. So that's why I really like Whoosh, because it helps me in this process. It was neat, easy, customizable, and helps me a lot. So I think I was so fast, and I'm sorry because of that. So you can make a lot of questions, and hope I can answer.
But first, an applause, please. So, questions?
Hello, thank you for your speech. It's very interesting topic. And my question is, you talked about steaming, and you say that the steaming is quite easy in English.
Yeah.
But you talk so little about the Spanish. So you could do some steaming in Spanish, or?
Actually, I am working with a stemming model with Woosh. It is not so good, but it is working. So I was doing some research about form diversity in Spanish, and I was not able to find any library that is working with lemmatization or something like that. There's some website I could send you after the talk, but there's no API, so you can test it, but anything more. It is quite difficult to work in Spanish, so I opted to cut the words and hope that everything is okay.
Well, first of all, thanks for the talk. It was super interesting. I was wondering, when you are using the sorting for sorting the results, can you sort based on any feature, any field that is not like a text, like a price or?
The sortable fields are dates and numeric.
Oh, cool.
You can we are using it with relevance, with the word scoring, and you can also use it by to put the newest products at the beginning and that kind of stuff.
Hi, very interesting talk. Thank you. I mean, you said that you was able to convince your colleagues to change languages from PHP to Python. I think many people here would be interested. That was right? They change, or you are still in the process?
Oh, well, it is going to be recorded, so please.
Yes.
Oh. So, to say the truth, when I was moved from marketing to IT and consider my background that is not scientific, that was not so easy. So, my main instruction is to work without disturbing my colleagues. Please, do not disturb anyone. So, that's why, and be quiet. So, I was trying to find something that was easy for me, and a month passed, and then they found that it was everything done, and they have no other way to put it in production. And that's what happened. So it is better to trust yourself, make the stuff, work silently, and after all, when everything is done, so you have to put it on production. It is working. So actually, it was a success because we had, as I said, we had a 20% bounce rate in the search site, which is a really big problem in an e-commerce because the people was not able to find what they were looking for. So we changed it, we double the visits, we reduce the bounds until they are null, and it is really nice. So it was difficult. We put it in an API. I don't have to worry about the search engine function, and they are working in their stuff, and I'm working on mine. And that's...
Yeah,
So-
I think this is excellent advice for other people trying to convince colleagues to change languages, to make everything work, and then...
It's to show, to prove it.
Exactly. Thank you.
Should I? One more question. Previously, you said there was a slide where you say that
Where?
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay.
There was a slide where you say that perhaps if you had to do this again, you might want to choose Elasticsearch or something like that. But I wonder if you know which are the things from Elasticsearch that we will like. If this already does a lot of things and it's Python and you don't have to compile anything and it's much easier, why would you use Elasticsearch?
I mentioned that because Whoosh, it is going to be slower when you have more and more documents. Nowadays, it is controlled because we have 2,000 references, and hopefully we have some more next year, but no more than 30,000. So I could manage it with Whoosh. But in the future, I don't know. Maybe it is better to choose another scalable solution. That's why I mentioned Elasticsearch. And I suppose that you are programmers with a higher level, and I thought that will be a question obvious in the audience. So that's why I put that slide. Now my situation is different. I have a great team for work, and I have a help in the system department, so it could be better to choose another scalable function. But at the time I made this decision, Whoosh was helping for me.